According to the World Bank, there are more than 15 million people displaced annually due to large-scale projects in Africa and other countries in the so-called Global South. Often, this displacement causes the dispossession and impoverishment of the affected populations. In Uganda and South Africa, infrastructure development and mining projects are some of the major causes of population displacement. Individuals from the two countries inhabiting communities which have suffered from large-scale project-induced displacement gave their thoughts on what they consider to be fair compensation and or resettlement in the event of displacement.
Amanya gange bampita waswa Richard Sendo ndi mutuuze we Bwayise Kawempe division era mwempangalidde ebbanga lyonna kusinga mu myaka gyendemu kati. Waliwo ekitundu ekimu twali tubeera okulinaana omwalo ogwo omunene egitwala kasasiro n'amazzi. Lwali lumu ka gavumenti negamba nti bagenda kuzimba omwala. Twali tupangisa era twali tukola bino ebintu byenkola. Mukama waffe oba nannyini nnyumba n'atugamba nti bannange bagenda kuzimba omwala naye mukoze mutya, mwesalira amagezi. Ne tumugamba sebo tukoze tutya kubanga gwe nannyini kifo ate naffe tuli wano okumala ebbanga kumpi obulamu bwaffe bwonna. Twabeerangawo okumala twamala endowooza nga almost 15 years kuba kati muno nakamala emyaka kumpi nga 2. Kati tumugamba kati tulazeewa n'agamba mwesalira amagezi. Tugamba n'ab'omwala bwe bajjira ne batandika okumenya amayumba. Ffe kitutwamanya nti oba bannannyini mayumba baabawa ssente oba tebaabawa niffe tebaatunyuza. Era twakeera bukeezi ffe ne tusombamu buntu bwaffe ne tufuna wano kati wano wendi era mpangisa. Naye ekizibu ekyatujja eri era sitiiru kye kimu ekiri wano. Kati twebuuza tugenda kukola tutya. Ekisookera ddala ab'obuyinza kye balina okukola mujje ku ground musooke mulaba abantu ababeera ku kitundu oba abapangisa. Kati abapangisa bwe mumala obbamanyisa ne nannyini nnyumba n'akola ki n'akitegeera. Nannyini nnyumba kimwanguyira oba naawe kikwanguyira okwogera obulungi naye ti nno ssebo munnange bazze wano ne batugamba naye ebbaluwa eno ogira nti baatugambye nti kitundu bwe kiri bwe kiti bagenda kukolerawo naye tukoze tutya. Naye ne batugamba nti kubanga ekizibu kiriwo bwe muba musuubiza temusuubiza bantu ffe abeeno wansi musuubiza banene tujja bbawa ssente bwe ziti. Awo ennyumba eyo tugibaliriramu ssente bwe ziti miliyoni 10 ze mumugambye mumuwa tasobola okutoola kwadde 10 n'eki akiwa omuntu amupangisa ow'emyaka gyonna. Agamba nze munnange obiraba ebintu bya gavumenti mwenoonyeze gye mulaga. Kati ekintu balina okusooka ne bajja ne batuyitamu naffe omuntu ne b'omuwa omwaka yes 1 year omuntu ye aba amanya mwezi n'ogwo nja kuba noonyeyo emitwalo gyange ngende waagundi ampoleyo ngende waagundi noba tomuwadde naye ng'omuwadde ebbanga. Naye ekibi nnyo okujja n'ogamba ngaffe abamu abalina abakazi nomuwagwe mukazi gwe sikwetaaga fuluma ennyumba.
A farmer, also from one of the frequently displaced communities in Uganda, gave her thoughts on what she considers to be fair compensation or resettlement in the event of displacement.
Ginga mapea pur mara chama rama chamne chale mura guana ni purgi ili yara gi matina tina ena bakhe timo mara donc eni kana mutong wano bino male bari agam ana nena kanya dong akopo kan tura boys gimana mera kuting ira kene kamu nong ira ngom ma romperi e kateri nyo ekapa ma romperi e ai ite yata eni ma anda weko kanyo mira bichola idong ngom eni ando mira aye pe andong dak dio ando twan yang pan bo kono oyat bo kono ngom bo mira bera nen kama aram no ye yor kom be chok ya pire te ana nero mi mi dak kama ana weko eni ramotem pin ma khachie no wan what the yobo art kun to churon libe tie mere o kun ke pu iket gwana mai ngam ga ka ni o kun o to ka ke tie no chamani ti ngam ka dum bwa ti no doctor.
And finally, from South Africa, Mpo, a member of one of the displaced communities and also part of a social movement known as the Mokopane Task Team, emphasized the importance of making the displaced communities partners in the displacing project.
My name is Mpo Charlie. I'm from Masetlaning, Mokopane, Limpopo province. You will have the developers or the big business companies coming and somehow forcing you to move so that they can pursue their own business interest on your land, or maybe on the land that you stayed since you were born. So you know the ins and out of the land and your livelihood. You spend the rest of your life doing all sorts of things on that land or in that place. So now you being told that we need to develop this land or we need to make a road, so you need to move to another location. It's a very sensitive issue whereby not everyone can just agree to it. It's difficult because you need to take too many things into cognizance when dealing with such. At first, let's say you need to move, saying you're going about 3 or 30 kilometers from your original location. Your where you're working, still it adds to the transport, the expenditures. Your children where they are studying, maybe you have a little a land where you're doing your farming and other things. So it means for you it will add some extra costs in your life. So it will make life difficult, or it makes life difficult for such. I cannot say compensation of some sort, but I want to believe that when there's a development, we need to come up with a strategy whereby if you are forced to be moved, they should then force, or you force them to be a partner in that business or in that development. That would be at least a lifetime compensation. It means your generation and the generation after your children, they will then benefit for the sufferings that you encountered or you suffered as a means of you being relocated to another place. So at times they're moving you from the comfort of your zone, whereby you have your own house, you know all the corners, and then you're so much comfortable in that house. Now they say you need to move. I know some would say no, you must build us a house somewhere, or maybe a bigger house as compared to the one they're moving out from. So at times it doesn't assist, because you also have the memories attached to the place that you stay in. So moving to the next location, it becomes a problem. It takes one to settle in. These are some of the things that you need to consider. And then your family around, how often were you visiting them? How often were you visiting the grave sites of your maybe your late friends or parents or something like that, or relatives? So these are some of the things that you should then look into, and also check the infrastructure where they're taking you to. In terms of you catching a transport to town, how far will that place be as compared to where you were relocated from? The affected party should then list all the demands. Let's say if they're moving me from a house, I should then demand or maybe sign a deal. They build me a house that I maybe want. They should not just come with a proposal or maybe a decision to say no, this offer is just an offer. You won't negotiate on it, you won't contest it, or you won't do anything. Meaning our final say is that we're building you this kind of a house. It should be something that one loves and one likes, and then you list all the demands that you want. Because at times would say, I had a borehole in my yard, and now do we have water supply where we stay? Or do we have boreholes? Are we going to pay for the rates and services? If we from the rural area and then we're not paying such, and then we're expected to pay such in the urban area, maybe they are relocating you to the urban area, it adds expenditure, the money that you do not have. That is why I'm saying whenever there's a development, we should then fight for partnership in that development. We be given shares on that development so that we can sustain ourselves. You should then list all these things. Make sure whenever you relocate, all the demands are met. Other than that, it will be difficult for you to settle very well, because each and every time when you will be staying in whatever room or house they built you, you'll having some question to say, when are they paying me? Why are they not doing what they promised? So my suggestion is, let them, or the developers or whoever will be relocating you, do all the demands, or complete all the demands that you listed before you move, or before they can move you.